I feel that the world of both the expansion of ayahuasca globally and, you know, the advancement of the field of psychedelic science and the advancement of this career of psychedelic therapists are huge universes of potential. There's so much to be done. There's so much to be dreamed of. My name is Bia Labate. I'm a social anthropologist. I got my PhD in Unicamp in Brazil, and I have been studying plant medicines, ritual, religion, shamanism, and drug policies for the last 21 years. I have published 20 books between editions, co-editions, authorships, and co-authorships. So I was invited to be science and culture advisor at Soltara. And at first I was reluctant because it's not something I've ever done before, to be like a, you know, advisor for a retreat center, although I have followed closely ayahuasca groups for my lifetime, for 2 decades. And I was kind of, you know, seduced by the team and come here, and I found this beautiful place in Costa Rica and tropical. I like it because it reminds me of Brazil, and I like the spirit in which things are being built, and you know, a soft, young, loving team full of people with a lot of hope and eye shining, and I like their energy. And I also think that, you know, these plants, they're not just to consume and to ingest. They also feed our thoughts. I think that it's obviously that they feed our soul, and they're plants for our spirit. I think it's pretty obvious that they are healing and they help us heal our body. But we must not forget that they are good for thinking as well. And we are creatures that are, you know, thinkers. It's part of our human nature to be philosophical, to wonder, to have ideas, to speculate, to have critical thinking, to create theories, to have opinions. So these plants, they also foment our thoughts and our knowledge and the process of creating of knowledge. So creating an environment that is friendly to intellectual discussions, that is open to this kind of reflection, I think it's also an important goal. One first idea is the Psychedelic Therapists Retreat that we're going to organize here in March 2018. And the idea is, like, all these people that are training in the US or operating in the underground, maybe they should have their own experience. Maybe trying that will teach them something, and maybe they will have new understandings on healing and on themselves. So creating a safe environment, a container where psychedelic therapists could have their own experiences and then also share their specific dilemmas of their profession and what they're looking for. That's one. The other thing, I think that, you know, it would be a whole area of potential things to do is like create more indigenous intercultural debates, bring together different ethnicities and have them talk, and maybe lead some workshops or some, you know, intercultural reflections. I think it's a legitimate concern to ask, how are we giving back and how are we creating mechanisms to retribute to traditional communities from where we take their ayahuasca and use it. For me, it's the development in my path and my career to do something like this. I have never done before. Normally, I kept my practices as, you know, as ayahuasca, quite private and quite discreet and off the public radar. I have my practice as an academic and an author and a speaker and also an activist. And to me, this is about making bridges between the different parts of me and also a development of, you know, moving to the US and seeing what is needed there, and this lack of practice and this paranoia and tension with illegality, and things are so secretive and people are frequently afraid of sharing their experiences or talking about it. So I felt this call. One thing that we have started doing, and it's not my main expertise, but I kind of know a little bit about, is to create an integration program that would be a program of excellence that, you know, looks for golden standards in the field and wants to create something that is pioneering and that is sincere and that is just not, you know, fabricating a need and creating a new kind of expert to sort of get your money, but actually to create a genuine reflection on how we can help people to do this transition back home and integrate their experiences and make that more part of their lives. So one aspect of the work that I have been doing there has been helping create this integration program. This included a huge research on the field of legality, and that was a little bit of a nightmare through some labyrinth tunnels of U.S. bureaucracies and, insurance and liabilities. And then there's a lot of other ideas that I have in mind that I would like, to foment this dialogue between science and culture and practice of ayahuasca. And I think just altogether, what's missing on this field of the expansion of ayahuasca is a cultural understanding about what ayahuasca is. Because as it spreads, a new celebrity every week, a new TV channel, a new dumb documentary, a new meme on the internet, a new hip song, and it's creating all this mix and flux of sensationalistic, superficial, kind of flaky information going around. So I would like to keep, an eye on how the message is being developed and what is the discourse that is being created around the use of ayahuasca. Because it matters. It's not just anything. We can't just invent any kind of, representation and start repeating it randomly. And I think that the field has, needs critical reflection. So if I can influence the course of that, I'm going to be happy. It's part, I think, of a healthy development of this field, which is a kind of check on what people are doing and how they are doing it. So I think that if you're interested in ayahuasca, you have to do your due diligence in having a critical eye on the development of the field, on which group you are engaging and which kind of messages you are spreading, and what is this specific retreat center doing to the people they hire, to the communities where they're based in. There's many ways we can do little things in order to make this expansion less harmful. The truth and the fact is that the genie is out of the bottle, and ayahuasca has left the Amazon, and it has populated our minds and the whole globe, and it has penetrated in households and communities and neighborhoods throughout the planet. So I don't think it's very useful to just say, well, that's bad or wrong, but what are we doing to make this expansion better? What is our share, our little piece in terms of, this expansion?